Happy day, happy day, everybody. Welcome to How Imposter Syndrome Causes Burnouts. Combat and Thrive. I'm Erica Kesse. I'm so pleased to be here with Abby. We are going to talk this thing out here, okay? I am a love force with mysterious wisdom, celebrating life, and with that, I've created corporate escape. Corporate escape is a way for experts, leaders, to be able to escape out of their corporate jobs, places where they are not feeling fulfilled. They are the people who are overextending themselves. Those are the people who are helping others and not being appreciated. These are the people who really, really deserve to go and be in a safe place where they can be supported and enhanced. And yes, you can have that. You can have that by pivoting into your own coaching practice. I'm so pleased because I launched last week, August the 3rd, and I actually am very proud of that. I launched it and I only had one person that signed up for it. Okay. And let me tell you, I'm so pleased and proud of that because that person is the epitome of who I want to be in the space. She said to me, how can I escape? Tell me. And I said, yes, let's escape. Let's escape now into your own coaching practice. And it was just the most beautiful story about meeting her in my home, like where I live right now, me visiting her and where she lives, and her taking me all around, enjoying ourselves, me then onboarding her. It was great. And if let me know if you all will like a copy of my newsletter because I wrote the whole story in there. But one thing about working with me is I'm going to hold your hand. I am going to hold your hand through the whole process, and I'm going to do all the things that can be done, especially if you're working with me, in order for you to be successful. So that's how it is, and what we're doing here. So that's just it that's going on with me. I am joined with Abby, and Abby, tell us about yourself.
Yes, hi, happy day. So I am Abby. I am the CEO of Queendom Empire, and I offer virtual COO services as well as online business management. And I outsource VAs to help make your business run a little smoother. If you start seeing that you need help, which everybody does at one point in time, including me. So I just enjoy helping people and serving people and trying to just help make their business a little bit smoother for them, and I try to give them the best experience. So, Erica, I'm so happy to be here with you today. What you got for us today?
Yeah, I really want to go and talk more about something that came up over while I was working or talking with the lady who signed up with Corporate Escape. Her name is Lauren. And something that came up during that time is she experienced lots of trauma. And if you read the story of my journey into being a coach, I experienced a lot of trauma in my corporate job, in my organization, working for organizations. And so I want to talk about that today. I want to talk about how that will silence you and stop you from taking the steps that you need to take in order to pivot outside of it. Because a lot of times when you're in situations, there's a cycle of abuse. An organization will say that you're the best thing since sliced bread. They'll want to bring you in. Then once you get there and they get you, like they start paying you, they get you siloed into their culture. They then begin to abuse you, and so then you feel like, and that's all you wanted to do was help. That's all you wanted to do was help. That's all you wanted to do. Listen, I'm gonna say that one more time. That's all you wanted to do was to go into this organization and help the people that you said that you wanted to help. But you are having all of these red tape, political circumstances. You're having people who are neglecting you. You end up doing most of the work. You end up being a person that is managing everything around you and then some. You end up the one working long hours, past time, and your boundaries. You have no boundaries. There's no boundaries there. And you try to set boundaries, but it's hard because they're always talking about how they keep giving you something else. Have you ever felt pressured by places? They keep giving you so much, it keeps you kind of always frazzled and moving and doing things that you can't be still enough to really recognize just how triggered you are. Also, most people who work in organizations and are helpers are also busybodies. Okay? Any busybodies out there? Yeah. Busybodies, busy doing something. How you deal with anxiety is you get busy doing something else, fixing this and fixing that. There's always fires, right? This is the people. And so I want to talk about that trauma. Abby, have you ever experienced this? And I know you have. I know you have. So tell me, what has been an experience for you? And then I'm going to share just one of mine. I have so many of circumstances that 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 were not the best circumstances for me to be in. And that's all I wanted to do was help.
Yeah, so I mean, reflecting back on circumstances that are not always the best to be in, I mean, that happened a lot, especially when I was younger, and I've learned how to recognize them and distance myself. Not saying anything against the other person for whatever it may have been, um, because because not everybody is for you, and you're not for everybody, and you have to be okay with that. And I'm. It's not just one particular time for me. There's been plenty of times where the connection just wasn't there. I know one of the things that you're big on is relationships and things like that, and um that is a big thing. That is a big deal, and stuff like that, because like I said, I mean, I go by, and I really stand by, like, everybody is not for you, and you're not for everybody. Sometimes it can be hard to accept that. um Man, this is such a loaded question, because there's so much that comes behind that, Erica. I mean, it's not. And for me, I'm an overthinker anyway, but there's so much that comes behind that, because sometimes you have people who it's like having levels in your life with people. You have people that can um, come in and be very close to you. You have people where you have to deal with a certain way, but they can't get too close. And you got people where um, um, you really want to keep a lot of boundaries up with it. Um, like I said, for me, it's not just one instance, because this is something I'm actually all too familiar with. Is what I'm saying making sense to you? Because that was honestly such a loaded question.
I know. Abby, you were not prepared, right? But this is something that I think I could do a whole podcast or a whole book. Actually, I was working on doing a book called "You Give Therapy a Bad Name," because I'm a licensed professional counselor too. So and I will have to say, most of my, not most, I've had several different experiences where I was abused. And then I also allowed myself to be abused because I did not know how to set boundaries. and hold boundaries because I had already got into a situation and I didn't know how to get out of that situation. And I was concerned about not being able to make ends meet and not paying my bills and or being like my mother. Like it was a whole lot. And so I know this is a loaded, this is loaded, very much loaded. There is so many toxic work environments out here. And I will, the reason why I want to have this conversation is because that's the reason why I'm saying pivot out of there. You don't have to live that kind of life. I don't know if you all hear this or not. I'm driving right now. I'm driving right now because I get to travel. I get to travel not for business. I get to travel because I want to travel. I love driving. I love it. And I think in a past life, I may have been a tractor trailer driver or something. That's all I know is I love driving and I feel free and I feel like I'm moving. And it goes along with my values, which is growth, freedom, integrity, and intimacy. So I'm traveling here. I'm on the road, okay? And I love it. And I can do that and also be a consultant, a coach, a counselor, have a coaching certification program, be an author, homeschool my daughter. She's sitting right here next to me, like do all the things that I had dreamed about. That when you're stuck in situations and you feel pressured and busy and fixing everybody else's fires, you never get to fuel the flame of your own internal fire, of your passion, of what you should be doing in your life.
Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. And like I said, I mean, there's been, I don't think I would have actually recognized it as, abuse until you had said something. But I mean, like I said, there's been so many situations. It really hasn't been just one, you know what I'm saying? Where where I have, felt that type of pressure and stuff like that. But you know what? At some point, you got to tell yourself enough is enough. And when you tell yourself enough is enough, what are you going to do? What's your next move? What are you going to do? What are you going to do next? How are you going to position yourself to get out of that? Whatever, excuse me, whatever the case or the situation may be, because I know everybody's journey is very, very different, you know. But yeah, you don't have to accept that. You don't have to accept that type of pressure, that type of abuse. That however you want to chalk it up, um you don't have to accept that from anybody.
Yeah, you definitely don't have to, but it all goes back to, like, I got to bring it in. It all goes back to how you were conditioned. If you were conditioned to believe that you are here to serve others, give to others, then you go into situations and they say, and they just take it. They take all that you're giving. And so then you give more, and then they take more, and then you give more, and you give more, and then they want more of you. And then you're looking around like, why is I'm the only one giving up my time, my energy, my my day. I'm not caring for myself, but I'm worried about this contract. Oh my goodness. There was a time that my baby was sick with she was sick with a temperature. I had to pick her up from daycare. But I also had to get this newsletter out for work. I picked her up. She was like 101, 100, no, 102 degrees. And I was afraid to not turn in that newsletter because I was working for a lady. This was for Tennessee Human Rights Commission. Tennessee Human Rights Commission. I was afraid to not turn in my newsletter because the lady, it's a write up on her in Tennessee, and her name is Beverly Watts. She was the most toxic, abusive boss who I was afraid, because I'm a single mother, not to do everything in order to keep this job. I was also getting a master's in in leadership at the same time. Anyway, all of this My baby, I had to wrap her in the blanket, not the blanket, it wasn't a blanket, it was a tablecloth that I used to exhibit. Wrapped her in that and put her under my desk so that I can finish this newsletter because I could not, my anxiety would not let me, due to me feeling like I had to do that and not take 10 to my child. Yes, that's one of the stories of of how it's pressures from all over. I was not safe. No one was telling me, "Hey, wait a minute, this is not okay." No, I didn't have a spouse that said, "Baby, you all right? If something happens, you're good. I'll take care of the baby." I had myself, and I had to do what I needed to do, and I just rushed to get it done so that then I could take my baby to the doctor. Yeah, and but I was just so happy that she just curled up in the tablecloth and went to sleep. Anyway, that's just one of the stories. One of the stories of and all of that. Yes, I had a boss that was horrible, but that was all my fault. It was all my fault because I should have stood up for myself. I should have knew better. I should have I should have decided to take the risk. I should have. I mean, and it was hard, right? It was hard. Like in myself at that moment, I'm sitting here feeling this right now, and like in that moment, it was not something that I could risk. Because I was concerned about not doing what I said I would do, and also like this lady would yell at me. This lady was not. I was afraid. And so if you are in, I wanted to say, if you are in any kind of situation like this is not the life that you deserve to have. You can have a better circumstance. And I just want to say, I want to be that place for you to go. I want to be the place that you can come to and we can figure it out together. If you can work that hard and you have that much energy in you to work hard on somebody else's business, you have that much energy in you to work hard on your business. And if you can work hard on your business, you will be successful, period. You got this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have been in situations like that. And, again, a lot of them was when I was younger and kind of ignorant to what I was just doing in life. Period. Because I'm not known for keeping my mouth shut. Let me start there. I'm not known for being quiet. I am not known for um, yeah. So when I was younger and did not know how to how do I put it, tame this mouth of mine. Um, I think I would recognize stuff like that before. Uh, I don't know, because if I was scared of losing a job, which when I was working for people or for employers and stuff like that, still am and stuff. But my losing my job does not intimidate me now like it did back in the day. First of all, my experience is very different because I have learned to be more confident and have my own boundaries and know what I was going to accept and what I was not going to accept. And my bosses here know it as well. And so the new I kind of feel bad for the new supervisor I have here because like when she calls me, I feel like she's a little intimidated of me because and I'm not trying to be mean, I'm not trying to be rude or anything like that, and I'm not really trying to be funny, but she is like, and she'll call me and she'll be like, Abby, listen, I'm not trying to be annoying, I'm not trying to do this, I'm not trying to do it. It's almost like she's trying to prepare me for something, and I'm just like, well, what you need? I get it. I understand. I'm a leader. You know what I'm saying? You're my leader right now. It says I'm trying to respect leadership. So what? I mean, what? Don't be intimidated by little old me. You know. But it hasn't always been like that for me. And a lot of that was because I didn't know how to talk. I didn't know how to stand up for myself. I didn't know how to, that I was caught in some situations where, yes, of course, I needed the job, and I was, uh, concerned about losing it and things like that. But as I got older and as I learned and became a little wiser, the less scared I was of losing any job or allowing anybody to put me in positions like that, or allowing myself um, to remain in positions like that once I knew something wasn't right. But if I'm being honest, I don't think there is one situation that I can say, and it's probably going back to what you have said before too, Erica, on being conditioned and things like that, because I already didn't grow up in the best of circumstances. Not that it was, not that it was horrible or anything like that, but um there's a lot more there, and having to learn how to deal with people just by the relationships that one has with their family and things like that. I mean, there's that's when I really first learned about putting up boundaries and stuff like that, and what I was going to accept and what I wasn't going to accept, and then I kind of carried that over with me to the professional side.
Yeah, it does start with conditioning. Yeah, I would have to say that I have been working hard since 12, and working for someone and esteeming someone. My mother, I had summer jobs, and, I would work, and then I would give her all the money, my brother and my sister as well. And then, so conditioned to serve. She called me her slave. So that's another reason why my value is freedom now. It's because I was a slave, and even grew up, and then decided to continue to be a slave because I was in my mind thinking that I had to serve someone. Um, and also, when when you have a a personality or something to handle, like the end game. So when you play video games, you have the big boss at the end, or the last boss. What's called the last boss. But
Hmm.
before the last boss, you have all these other people who are like that boss that you got to fight first. And so until you can able to fight the last boss, right? So and you're going to experience the same personalities, the same, and until you get to able to get past it. And so every employee that I've had, it was the person who capitalized on people you fight before the last boss. They train you up in order to be better. Okay, yeah. So each one of those other you go through the experience, and you'll win it ultimately, and then you go on to the next person that you have to fight. And so it gets you kind of, it reconditions you to be able to deal with the last boss. So what I want to say is, yeah, that's something to consider and to reflect on. So if you're out there and you are thinking about how you keep hitting up against the same people or personality types in the same circumstances, right? Yes, it's a pattern. It's something you need to move out of, and you have to know for a fact that you are a natural genius, that you are an expert, that you are a perfectionist, that you are magnificent. You're a superhero, superstar, and you deserve to take your expertise into your own practice where you can create your own safety, have your own support, and be enhanced every single day. You get to wake up every morning and have the life of your dreams. Yes, you can. And um and so you're gonna have to deal with the trauma. You're gonna have to deal with what has occurred, that has conditioned you to stay in circumstances that are not the right fit. So we our time is up now, Abby. This has been amazing. Again, I'm Erica Kesse. I have a program called Corporate Escape that I would love to invite you to join me. You can go to bit.ly/15 Erica chat, or you can put a comment in the comment section. You can put in there interested in the comments for hashtag replay. But yeah, let's have a conversation. Let's figure out how we can combat and thrive beyond imposter syndrome. And Abby, tell them about yourself.
Yep. So again, I am Abby. I'm the owner of Queendom Empire. I have an outsourcing guide for outsourcing VAs and how to find one, how to choose one, all that good stuff. If you're interested in that, that can be found at queendomempire.com. You can also get in touch with me on LinkedIn. The handle there is at Abby Lee QE, and I also have a referral program for VAs. If you are a VA listening and you would like to partner up, let me know. I've got a form. Let's get you to fill it out and have a conversation and see how we can help each other. So, Erica, this has been wonderful. I hope that just be careful. I know you're driving, so just be careful out there.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, this has been great. Thank you so much, Abby. I'm so excited about doing this every week, y'all. We come every Wednesday, and we do business owner burnout, and we also do how imposter syndrome causes burnout. So tap in, tap in, tap in. The goal, and I put this on my email marketing for events, is that this is our way of building community. So come on in. Let us know who you are. Let us know how we can how we can, partner with you in what you have going on, and how we can elevate you in any way that you would like. And we have tons of resources and connections. So you can reach us on LinkedIn, and you can um, come back to visit us every Wednesday. So, all right, you all have a great rest of your day.